They may not, maybe cops aren't going to have such a profound experience and want to engage like I do, but I will say this. It only takes being out here for a few minutes, if like you did, maybe an hour, to meet somebody, to meet Sedaria, to meet Johnny, to meet someone to understand that this is a community of wonderful people who should be here, should be hanging out, who are a part of the world, engage the world, but they don't. And that's what's sad, but it's also why I'm back here. I love it. I love everything about it. Actually, it's quiet today. I don't like it. My favorite part of every day was walking to this block every single day. I would go, this was my block. I love it. Oh, here's some of my old heads right here. And these are also guys that, well, besides throwing me a birthday party. You know how meaningful? This block threw me a birthday party. You've never seen that before.
Yep.
They had a cake.
Do that very often? Do you throw police officers?
Only this one.
No, if they come down here and act right and talk right,
Hey,
this block ain't got no problem.
we ain't had a better one in the block than this.
You said, so I how jealous all them was up at the...
Yeah.
So this is the kind of place that people are always hanging out.
Yeah.
Cars are driving up, windows are down. To an outsider, it looked like this is just like an open-air drug market. You're saying there's more going on here.
Oh, there's so much more. Well, number one, there's a lot of people who exist here who have been here for 40, 50 years. So even though they moved away, this is a place that they belong. This is their home. So many people we run into, especially the older cats, they come back here because this is home for them. But it also is a place where, when the RVRC was open, which was a homeless shelter for 2 blocks down for people with long-term mental health issues, that every morning at 4:45 they would kick them out of the building. And so you'd have 70 plus people just surround here and be out here. And it almost started, the whole day. It's how the whole city developed. It's how this whole intersection developed. Is that people, there is nowhere else to go. They would go to the McDonald's because they had to. That's where they got warm. That's where they sought shelter. The other people who are here, who may come here, this is also the place where they pick up for day workers. So it's become sort of like a natural hub, right? You also have a large bus stop right here. There's a residence here. So to me, when the woman was telling you about the cops jumping out, you're jumping out on people who should be here. Some of which maybe wouldn't be here if the RVC. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you, love. Hey, see you, babe. So this to me is a place where I was here more than any other place when I was in West Center City. I was here because it's a combination of both people who should be here, who want to be here, and it's a combination of people who need help and need some support. And so I was able to be a presence here and a support system here, where most cops, like you were told, they just jump out and they shoo them from the block, they shoo them from the intersection. That does nothing. It doesn't help. So this is really, like I was saying, this is really a combination, but it's also it is your only open space. It's a place to breathe. They don't go to the park naturally because before I started in particular, dangerous place. You know, a lot of shots fired. It wasn't like we would think, go to the park. My wife's razor.
We got.
Where are you at?
Right, still the same spot.
I mean, who's cut?
Oh, right here on between 7th and 8th and Adams.
Really?
Papini, yeah.
I'm ready for it.
It set you up nice too. Good, nice. Let me go get this food for the lady. You too, bro.
To get their trees cut back, they needed the lights. People wouldn't come in and change the light bulbs. So people talk about gangs, or they talk about the opioid crisis. They're symptoms. They're important. It's important that we address them, but they're only symptoms. They're symptoms of poverty. So I don't want people to ignore the gang problem or the drug problem or the drug problem or the gun problem. But I think we're missing the first step. it begins with addressing the human conditions. If you address the human conditions, which are the conditions that cause poverty, that's how we elevate ourselves. That's how we heal communities. So I didn't see gangs here. Matter of fact, I had told you I didn't arrest anyone from the day I was here. I didn't put handcuffs on anyone. But the crime went down. People stopped, not because I apprehended or broke up some crime syndicate. It's because I supported the human conditions. It's something that it's difficult to understand, and people have expertise and they focus and they have groups and nonprofits and government organizations to focus on specific issues. But all the people who you didn't see here are them. They don't actually come here. They're not a part of this community or any community to really understand how they can help it, how they can support it. So it's great you have people who focus on gang problem or those other issues, but where are they? Are they here? Are they talking to the people in the community? That's the void that is missing. That's this gap between the people who create laws, the government, these agencies, and the community. It's this. It's not culture. It's not. It's none of those things except for they're not willing to come here. They're not willing to come to the places like this and engage the conversation. Or if they do, it's on their terms. Hey, we're gonna have a meeting at Hicks Anderson, but no one knows about it. So I know it's sort of a long way around talking about a specific issue, but there's the greater issue. The most obvious issue is the fact that we walked around here all day. The cops, the only people who we see that the community sees as the person who maybe they can help them or connect with them, they just drive by, right? So who else can have a conversation? Who else is here engaging them, saying, how can we support you? That I think is what's missing. It's unfortunate too, because you heard, especially another guy who, this is West Center City, this is his home. Why would police, what's in their mind? How much do you have to demean somebody or dismiss people that you feel comfortable telling another human being to move? And then the fact that he has to exist and stand here and tell us that story, like, oh my God, if you weren't here and another cop passed, they tell me to move. Come on, that like you said, we have freedom. That's like our fundamental freedom is to be here and to exist, and they won't even allow that.
No, you got to be in your home.
They want it like a jail. Yeah. Everyone in their homes. Yeah. Everyone out of their homes.
Yeah, like you're in prison. Lock in.
Lock out.
Yeah, that's what it's like, man. But I gotta always keep moving and walking. You're telling me that I always gotta keep walking. I can't stop for an hour. Maybe I walk around the block. I'm getting exercise.
The police are telling you gotta keep moving.
Yeah, the police are telling me I can't stop. But what if I'm out here and I'm an old guy and I gotta come on, the doctor says walk. So I'm walking and taking a walk around this block, but I get tired. Now I wanna stop or sit down. Now a police officer comes past and I'm sitting there, then he comes back past. Now he's gonna get out and harass me. That is not right. So, and the only way it can change is we have people like you. So we appreciate you.
But remember I was crying that day. You say when you louder it's not going to get done, but then I was really upset, but it worked out. I mean, man, I've been on this one job now for like 7 months, so it's going well.
But for me, at the end of that day, with whatever you were crying about, the fact that I was here, and even if I couldn't help you except for just being here, that to me was a success. It's what police don't understand.
I was frustrated.
Yeah.
But
that to me, I was glad I was here for you. Not that I could help you in a specific way, except for just being here.
Do you meet many police like that?
maybe one or two others. If I didn't know. Oh, they're not really friendly like that. And then they think even if you outside, like I work at night, so even if you're outside or they always think you're doing something bad, but it's not that way. You can't even, the sun is out.
Yeah. Why are you driving by?
You can't drive by, you can't come out, you can barely go to the store without them thinking it's something bad.
Yep.
and everybody's not that way. And the hard part is my son, his daycare is literally right on 7th Street, so I can't even really get out to go in without them thinking it's something all the time. And that's what everybody, because that's a daycare right there, right across from the park. So it's 2 of them. But if you get out and you around, they might think it's something negative, and you just taking your child to the store after daycare or before daycare to get a fruit cup or applesauce.
That's a hard thing that I had to it's difficult to accept, is the fact here's a place that could use support, could use help, and the people who are designed to help, the community feels, when they see them, feels like the total opposite, like they're uncomfortable, they're afraid, that makes them, it's just the opposite of what it should be, and it's a hard, that's the culture.
Because
Oh crap!
What's up?
How you doing, brother?
Good to see you.
So, standing out
Did you get it?
And when he came down, he stopped and pulled in front of the liquor store, and then you had 2 coming up. And they jumped out on him, and everybody was just like, what's going on? Because we weren't doing anything, we just standing out there talking like we didn't do. The lady cop told me to shut up. I said, who you talking to? And she was like, you need to be quiet before you be in handcuffs. And I said, for what? She said, you need to move along. I said, no, I'm gonna stand right here. So I started recording with my phone. I said, I have a right to do this, and you can't stop me. So she really was like being really combative with me, and I had to really just catch myself like, lady, I don't care nothing about that bag. It's a respect thing. You respect me and I respect you. You jump out the car with the other officers and you telling me to shut up and move. That's not how you talk to people. And you wonder why the community don't like the police. You wonder why.
Oh, you know. You come in here with 100 cops busting in doors and locking people up is not how you affect change. It's actually how you divide the community more. Not that those things shouldn't happen. I didn't prevent, there was investigations, people got arrested. But what I'm saying is real change, sustainable and lasting change, happens when the community and the police see each other, truly see each other, and listen to each other and not force each other. And it doesn't mean we don't argue or we don't have a difference of opinions. That's okay, that's what makes us human. But the community and I understood, not only did we see each other, but we understood the importance of listening, of being here, of being a part of, and being respectful of each other's humanity. I didn't come here to dehumanize or demean or arrest or dismiss or ignore. I just came here and to be a part of and to support. And so each and every day and at the end of the week, if I did nothing except for just be here, right? Be visible, be accessible. That to me was a success. Police want a number, they want a stat, they want a mission, and they just don't understand that that's not how change happens. The mission is to be a part of. And so that's what I did. So they like structure, they like stats and numbers, they want tangibles. They want to know that they could control how.
Hi, honey.
Hey, babe, are you going home? All right, see you, love. Police want to know that really at the end of the day, even though they talk about community and all that stuff, it's nonsense. Not that they're not good people, and there's wonderful officers, and some of them do amazing work. But the culture in of itself, the people who lead this culture, the ones we have to follow under the structure of law enforcement, they just want control. They want to be able to control and dictate what happens to their police, to their officers, to their department. They also want to control the people who live here. And when I mean control in terms of even being here, police still shoot people off in front of their steps, in front of the streets, and this is where they live. See, look, this doesn't look like our home. These places don't look like where we live in our neighborhood. But if someone came and tried to shoo us off our front yards, we'd say, get out of here. And that's what police do. They drive by and they yell at people to get off the corner. That is the culture that exists, that to me speaks volumes, that they don't really want community policing, whatever they call it. That's nonsense. Community policing, when we walk around today, or even when you saw, there was a police officer that passed us. So That to me speaks volumes about true engagement in the community. Because this place, when you're in an urban setting, look, I understand you need your car if you're a trooper, if you're a county police officer where you have a tremendous amount of distance, yeah, you need your car. A car is an important part. If you're in a city, in an urban environment, you need to park that damn car and get your ass out and be a part of it. They drove by. What if we needed help? What if we could have had a conversation? What if those people on the corner wanted to ask them a question? That's what you'll see today. You'll see them.
One car went by with the windows down and one went with the windows up.
And how fast did they go by? I mean, fast enough that even with the windows down, well, there you go. It's a perfect example.
From here, so you know me, I've been around here all my life. Shell and Demi, man, you know, been around here all my life. I just want to do a documentary. Like I'm 46, I've been here like over 30 years. Been over here 30 years, man. I watched everything happen around here, all that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really real around here, though. You know, it's good times around here and it's bad times around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's really real, though. You know.
What's it been like compared to when you were younger?
Now it's worse, because he got kids killing kids now, though. It wasn't like that back in the day. Now little kids like 15, 12 and all that going to jail now. Like it wasn't like that back in the day. Like it wasn't never like that back in the day. Everybody, like when you go to the store for somebody, you go to the store for the older people on the block and all that. But now it's just like really worse now. It's really worse now. It's really worse now.
You know anything about the way the people down bottom treat the people up on top of the hill? As far as the young kids and
that's why it's like,
my brother.
that's why it's like a lot of gang shooting because of that. They beef with them, and we all in the same area, but that's what happens. And it's the little kids that do that. It's the little kids that do that.
And the way other people
he helped everybody around here, like everybody in this hood, like he helped out. He helped out, and he's still doing it now to this day. He helps out real good, man. He's a good dude. He's really a good dude.
Why is he different than other police you've run into?
Because he talks to you. He don't judge nobody, none of that. He talks to you, he don't judge nobody, none of that. He's a good dude. He's definitely a good dude.
Yeah, but hold on a second. What are we doing? One love. One love.
One love.
So
That's the way we do it.
this is when I realized that everyone here has Facebook, because we took a picture, right?
I still got it in my phone. You got it too.
And you said, you better post that on Facebook. I said, what?
Yeah. You need a new phone. Get a new phone. You'll be breaking phones again.
Here, the only time you see police is when somebody call them or when they riding around harassing people. That's it. I've seen it too many times. I've seen it too many times. 2 weeks ago, the cops beat up a homeless guy over here. Granted, I understand it's a business here, and they don't want people congregating on the corners and all that, because you know they drink, they shoot dice, and they whatever. The officer told the guy to leave, and I guess he said it in a disrespectful way to the man, and he just said, you know, I'm a grown man, and you don't have to talk to me like that. So the officer got really upset, slammed the man on the ground. He bust his lip, bust his nose, threw him up against the car, and somebody actually started video recording it with their phone.
Why is his face like that? Look what he did to him. I got you. Him.
What you see when these cops drive by is none of that happens. You can't make introductions. You can't have any conversations, and you certainly can't ask for help. Nope. How can you ask for help when you're driving 25 miles a day? This is, look, like I said before, if you're on the highway, you need your car. Mm-hmm. If you're in a city, come on now.
You can walk.
You walk. You walk. That's the only way you understand and meet, and not only understand a neighborhood, but it's the way you connect with people. No one meets people from a car. It don't matter what culture you come from, whether you're the suburbs or you're here. You tell me where one person can be in a car and the other person can be on a street and anything happens between there. There's no connection happens. And the worst part about that is then you add in the police side of it. They're supposed to be connecting. They're supposed to be interacting. That car is besides the culture, that car is the biggest wedge between the community and the police, bar none.
All right. You know we crazy. All right. A raccoon hat. One of them big furry hats.
Her phone was at 220. Or
We talked about that.
what's my name?
That's a number. No. That's what I don't understand it. I'm just like, wow. And then when everybody see police, oh, here come the police, here come the police. Yeah, and then everybody starts walking off because nobody wants to come in contact.
That's 2 days in a row I missed Charlie.
So people are more afraid of the police.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Actually, I was worried
than the
about
people that are on the corner.
Exactly.
He's all right. He was here.
They see the police coming. I wish you could be out here one day. Wait till it really starts to get nice.
That's I told him.
Everybody's outside and they see. You'll always hear somebody say, "Here come the police," and you'll see it for yourself how people will scatter. They'll start walking off. Nobody wants to engage with the police. Not now. They don't. Since Dan's been gone, no, not at all.
And you take a picture of me.
When I retired, you could have come right in here and not even picked up at the level or where I was or with my enthusiasm, whatever it is. You could have just been here and just coasted, but they didn't. They came right back here, and it was because my friends would FaceTime me, and they would show this all the adversarial that relationship that really aggressive kind of us against them came right back. So if I did anything, I showed this community what they deserve. I showed this community what they should have, at least the basic services they should have. So when I left, it was hurtful to see them show me how the police have, went right back to the riot lines and the fighting and the driving by. But it also made me feel incredibly proud, and it was one of the most fulfilling things that I came away with this job, or especially this experience, is that they now know what they deserve, and they feel like they can speak up, like they have a voice. That's a powerful message, and that's why I continue to be here and try to be their voice, because once you know what you're owed, what the standard should be, everything else then won't be acceptable. Any less than that isn't acceptable. And man, I'm so proud of that.